There was a time when silence was feared, a time when stillness could unearth powers so dangerous that it threatened the very fabric of society. Meditation, a practice so ancient, so primal, was once seen not as a path to enlightenment but as a doorway to madness, chaos, and subversion. In a world where thought was shaped by control, any attempt to quiet the mind was considered an act of rebellion. But why? Why would something as seemingly peaceful and beneficial as meditation become a subject of fear, a practice labeled taboo? Imagine this, a world where the rulers, the philosophers, and the high priests held power, not just over the masses, but over their very thoughts. Their ability to control perception, to guide the flow of human consciousness, was their greatest weapon. And then there came a force, quiet, subtle, almost invisible, that threatened to shatter the chains of their dominance. It wasn't a revolution of armies, nor the rise of new technologies. It was the simple act of turning inward, the power to control one's mind, to disconnect from the exterior world and tap into something deeper, something untapped by the world's conventional laws. This is why meditation was considered dangerous, even heretical in ancient cultures. What if, by sitting in silence, you could break free from the chains of conformity? What if, by simply quieting the mind, you could access knowledge and power that would allow you to transcend your limitations and even change the very fabric of reality? Would you be content to remain a slave to the external world, or would you choose to unlock the secrets hidden within? In this video, we will uncover the mysterious origins of meditation's taboo status, why it was hidden from the masses for centuries, and how its power was misunderstood, feared, and suppressed. But more than that, we will reveal the deeper truth about why those who practiced it were often persecuted, branded as outcasts, or even worse, trapped in the illusion of insanity. You might think you know meditation. You might think it's all about peace, calm, and enlightenment. But what if I told you that beneath the surface of this practice lies a force so powerful it could change the way you see the universe? Stay with me as we embark on a journey into the hidden history of meditation, a journey that may just change the way you approach your own mind and the mysteries of the world around you. Let's begin. Meditation has been practiced in various forms across the globe for thousands of years. Yet, despite its deep spiritual roots, its history is far from being a simple tale of enlightenment and personal growth. The truth is, the widespread acceptance of meditation as a peaceful practice is a relatively modern development. In ancient times, its very existence was closely guarded and at times deliberately suppressed. To truly understand why meditation was once considered taboo, we must look back to its origins, where the currents of power, politics, and spiritual philosophy converged in a dangerous dance. The earliest known forms of meditation can be traced back to ancient India, where it was used by mystics and sages as a means of reaching higher states of consciousness, communing with the divine and unlocking hidden knowledge. But for many in positions of power, such practices posed a significant threat. You see, the spiritual and intellectual elites of the time understood that meditation could open gateways to realms beyond the control of the ruling class, realms where individuals could tap into their own divine power and wisdom. In the ancient Indian spiritual texts, meditation was considered a sacred practice, reserved for the highest initiates. The Upanishads, written over 2,500 years ago, spoke of meditation as a direct path to understanding the nature of reality. But it wasn't just a practice of quiet contemplation. It was a tool for awakening the soul, for dismantling the illusions that bound the human spirit to the material world. Such knowledge was far too potent to be freely shared with the masses. Meanwhile, in Egypt, the wisdom of the ancient priests and sages was deeply intertwined with the teachings of Hermeticism. Hermes Trismegistus, the legendary figure who bridged the human and divine realms, taught that the mind itself was the source of all creation. In his teachings, meditation was seen as the key to understanding the divine mind and unlocking the mysteries of the universe. But just as in India, those in power recognized the dangerous potential of this knowledge. If common people were to master the art of stillness and inner vision, they could break free from the external influences of the state and religion, and that, in the eyes of the rulers, was a direct threat to their control. In both Eastern and Western traditions, meditation was understood as a process that allowed the individual to transcend the illusions of the material world. It was believed that by silencing the mind, one could access the higher planes of existence, realms that were believed to be inhabited by gods, angels, or otherworldly forces. But for the ruling classes of these ancient societies, these realms were off-limits to the common people. Spiritual authority was reserved for the elite, and meditation had the potential to disrupt this delicate balance of power. As Christianity began to spread across the Roman Empire, the Church's grip on spiritual authority grew ever tighter. The early Christian Church, like many other institutions of power throughout history, feared any practice that could potentially free the mind from its control. While meditation was sometimes rebranded as prayer, it was often rejected or demonized as a heretical practice. The Church viewed it as a form of sorcery, a way to access forbidden knowledge and open doors to spiritual realms that could lead one astray. In fact, for many centuries, any practice that involved turning inward or seeking personal spiritual insight was seen as dangerous, an invitation for demonic influence or madness. But the fear of meditation wasn't just confined to religious authorities. Governments too saw the power of the mind as a potential threat. In feudal societies, where control over the masses was maintained through fear, wealth, and social structures, individuals who could meditate and transcend the limitations of the physical world were seen as untouchable, dangerous beings. Meditation was often associated with rebellion and dissent, acts of defiance that could lead to the unraveling of the established order. This fear of inner exploration and self-mastery persisted into the Renaissance and Enlightenment periods, where philosophers like Descartes and Hobbes sought to rationalize human experience in terms that could be controlled and understood through reason. The idea of turning inward to access higher truths was seen as primitive, mystical, and in many cases absurd. In these periods, the human mind was increasingly viewed as a tool to be refined, catalogued, and directed, not a powerful force to be awakened. It wasn't until the 19th and 20th centuries, when Eastern philosophies began to infiltrate the Western world, that meditation started to gain acceptance again. But even then, its power was often diluted into something more palatable for the masses, something to be used for relaxation, stress relief, and personal growth, rather than the profound spiritual awakening it once represented. The history of meditation is not just a story of spiritual enlightenment, it is the story of a hidden power, an ancient knowledge that was kept from the public for fear that it would unleash something too powerful to control. From the mystics of India to the Hermetic sages of Egypt, meditation was seen as the ultimate tool of liberation. And for those who understood its true potential, it was not a practice of escape, but of radical transformation, a way to transcend the boundaries of the self and merge with the divine. Yet despite its historical suppression, meditation's power has endured. Today it is practiced by millions around the world, often without any awareness of the taboo status it once held. But as we delve deeper into the true nature of this practice, we will uncover the reasons why it was so feared, and why even today, its full potential remains hidden from many. Stay with me, as we journey through the veil of history and unlock the secrets of why meditation was once considered taboo. Now that we've glimpsed the historical and philosophical roots of meditation's taboo status, we must begin to peel back the layers of meaning embedded within the practice itself. What is it about meditation that, throughout history, struck such fear into the hearts of those who wielded power? Why was a practice that today is associated with peace and personal growth once regarded as dangerous and forbidden? The truth, as we will see, lies in the very nature of meditation, as a tool for transcending the boundaries of the material world. Meditation in its purest form is not simply about relaxation or mental clarity. It is about turning inward to access the infinite potential of the mind, to tap into a wellspring of universal energy that connects us all to the fabric of existence itself. But this is not just a mental exercise. It is a spiritual journey that requires one to challenge the very nature of reality and identity. To understand the depth of meditation's power, let's look at the first of the Hermetic principles, the principle of mentalism. This principle, as we discussed earlier, asserts that the all is mind, and that the universe itself is a mental construct. This means that at its core, everything we perceive as solid matter, our bodies, the objects around us, even time itself, is not truly physical, but a manifestation of thought. In essence, the universe is a vast interconnected web of consciousness, where everything vibrates and interacts through the energy of the mind. Meditation, therefore, is not just a passive act of introspection. It is a means of directly accessing and aligning oneself with the universal mind. It is a practice that allows us to perceive reality not as a series of isolated events, but as a unified whole. The power of meditation lies in its ability to expand our awareness and consciousness, helping us see beyond the veil of illusion and into the deeper truths that govern existence. However, this very power posed a threat to those in positions of authority. Imagine for a moment that you were a ruler in ancient times, with the responsibility of maintaining control over a vast population. You rely on structures of power, social, political, and religious, to maintain order. But now here comes a practice that offers individuals direct access to the divine, to higher states of being, to self-mastery. A practice that could allow the common person to transcend the limitations of the material world and break free from the constraints of authority. This is exactly what meditation represented in the eyes of those who feared it. Let's take a step back and consider the deeper psychological impact meditation could have on the human mind. When we meditate, we quiet the noise of the world, and for the first time we may experience a profound sense of inner peace and clarity. But this peace is not just temporary. It is transformative. As we align our thoughts and emotions with the universal flow of energy, we begin to reprogram our mind, dissolving the limiting beliefs and fears that have been instilled in us by external forces. The act of meditation, therefore, is an act of liberation. It is the process of reclaiming control over one's consciousness and perception of reality. It allows us to realize that we are not simply passive participants in the world, subject to the whims of fate, but active creators of our own experience. In this sense, meditation is deeply subversive. It challenges the very foundation of control by returning power to the individual. The more one meditates and attunes to higher frequencies of consciousness, the more they begin to see the world with new eyes, eyes that are no longer clouded by fear, judgment, or societal conditioning. This shift in perspective was precisely what made meditation dangerous in the eyes of those who sought to maintain control. A society filled with individuals who could think for themselves, who could tap into their own spiritual power, was not a society easily manipulated. Meditation then became more than just a spiritual practice. It became a tool of resistance, a means of defying the status quo. In ancient Egypt, for example, the high priests were believed to possess secret knowledge that was passed down through initiations and rituals. This knowledge, often hidden in the form of esoteric texts like the Emerald Tablet, spoke of the power of the mind to create and shape reality. Those who were initiated into these mysteries could manipulate the forces of the universe, bending them to their will. But these mysteries were not meant for the common people. To preserve the authority of the priesthood, this knowledge had to remain hidden. And meditation, with its ability to awaken the individual's own divine potential, was a direct threat to this sacred monopoly of knowledge. In the East, particularly in India, meditation was viewed as a powerful means of self-realization, a way to break free from the cycle of birth and rebirth, samsara, and attain liberation, moksha. But this spiritual liberation also represented a break from the societal norms and structures that kept the caste system in place. A meditator, one who transcended the physical body and the ego, could no longer be easily classified or controlled. The spiritual equality that meditation revealed posed a threat to the hierarchical social order. Those in power feared that if meditation became widespread, the very foundation of their rule would crumble. But what truly makes meditation taboo is the deeper existential question it raises: who are we really? When you meditate, you confront the illusion of separation between the self and the universe. You begin to see that what you perceive as you is merely a temporary construct, a fleeting manifestation of consciousness in a vast, interconnected web of existence. This realization is not just humbling, it is potentially terrifying. To understand that you are not your body, not your thoughts, not your ego, but something much greater, something eternal and infinite, opens up a door to a new way of being. For those who sought to keep humanity in bondage, this realization was not just dangerous, it was revolutionary. It was a challenge to the very fabric of society, where identity, power, and control were all based on the false notion of separation. And so meditation was forced to the fringes of society, labeled as taboo, dangerous, and subversive. But the truth is, meditation was never the enemy. It was the key to unlocking the true potential of the human spirit. And now, as we stand at the precipice of a new era, where the world is more interconnected than ever, we must ask ourselves, are we ready to reclaim that power, to awaken to the truth of who we really are and step into our own divinity? The answer, as always, lies within us, and meditation remains the gateway to that infinite potential. But the journey is not without its obstacles, and the path to true self-realization is one that has been shrouded in mystery for a reason. So as we continue to explore this profound practice, we must ask, what are we really afraid of when we meditate? And what truths are waiting for us on the other side? Stay with me as we continue to unravel this mystery and uncover the deeper layers of meditation's forbidden past. Now let us dive even deeper, for we have only begun to scratch the surface of why meditation was considered taboo, and more importantly, what it reveals about the true nature of reality. As we continue this exploration, we must challenge the very fabric of belief systems that have shaped the world for centuries. Why has meditation, a practice that offers self-realization, peace, and connection to the divine, been suppressed so relentlessly? To answer this, we must look at meditation not just as an individual practice, but as a force that could potentially alter the collective consciousness. In ancient cultures, whether in Egypt, India, or Greece, the key to understanding the spiritual journey was rooted in the exploration of the inner realms. Meditation, as a tool for this inner exploration, held the key to unlocking secrets about life, death, and the true nature of the cosmos. But for the ruling powers, these secrets were far too dangerous to be made available to the masses. They feared that a society of enlightened individuals, awakened to the deeper truth of existence, would no longer be easily controlled. The esoteric teachings of ancient wisdom were built on the foundation of universal laws and principles, such as the Hermetic laws, that govern not just the material world, but the spiritual dimensions of existence. Meditation then becomes the bridge between these realms. It is the practice that allows one to move beyond the limitations of the physical senses, accessing a deeper state of awareness where one can directly perceive the interconnectedness of all things. But this perception does not come without consequence. As we meditate, we break down the false barriers that separate us from the universe. We begin to experience what the mystics and philosophers of old called the oneness of being. In this state, the individual ego dissolves, revealing that the self is not a solitary entity but a spark of the divine, interwoven with the fabric of existence. This realization is not only transformative, but profoundly liberating. It is an awakening to the fact that we are creators of our own reality, an understanding that shatters the illusion of power held by external forces. But what happens when a society of individuals begins to awaken to this truth? When a collective consciousness understands that the material world is not the ultimate reality, and that spiritual power is within the grasp of every individual, the ruling elites saw this as an existential threat to their power structures. If people began to realize that they could transcend the material world and tap into the unlimited potential of the mind, they would no longer accept the limitations imposed upon them by kings, priests, or political leaders. Power structures built on control of the masses would collapse as people realized their ability to shape their own reality. So the elites sought to suppress the practice of meditation and other forms of spiritual awakening. They branded meditation as dangerous, forbidden, and heretical, associating it with everything from witchcraft to dangerous rebellion. In the West, during the rise of organized religions, the practice of meditation was demonized, replaced with prescribed forms of worship that served to keep individuals dependent on religious authority. To meditate was to question everything, the very foundation of religious doctrine, the nature of the soul, and the idea of an external deity governing the world. In the East, the suppression of meditation took a different form. Under the guise of caste systems and societal structures, spiritual practices were kept within the hands of a select few, particularly the priestly class. Meditation and the attainment of higher consciousness were seen as privileges for the initiated, those who had undergone years of training and sacrifice. For the masses, the idea of accessing direct spiritual knowledge was considered dangerous, something that could upset the established social order. But there is another layer to this fear, the fear that meditation, when practiced correctly, awakens a dormant power within the individual that transcends not just the physical world, but the spiritual world as well. Through meditation, we access the universal mind, or what some traditions refer to as the collective unconscious, which contains the knowledge of all things. This knowledge is not simply intellectual, it is an experiential understanding of the true nature of reality. As we meditate, we begin to experience the fluidity of time and space, the interconnectedness of all beings, and the oneness of the universe. In these moments, we see the world not as a collection of separate objects, but as an intricate, dynamic system where everything is in constant motion. We experience the paradox that the external world and our inner world are reflections of one another. As above, so below, as within, so without. The power to shift reality lies not in the outer world, but within the depths of our own consciousness. Now let us consider one of the most intriguing and little-known aspects of this story, the concept of spiritual resonance. In many ancient traditions, it was believed that the more an individual meditates and attunes themselves to higher frequencies, the more they resonate with the divine. This concept is closely tied to the law of vibration, one of the core Hermetic principles. When we meditate, we shift our vibrational frequency, and in doing so, we align ourselves with the universal forces of creation. It is through this alignment that we begin to manifest our deepest desires and potentials. But why was this resonance feared? The answer lies in the potential for personal and collective transformation. Imagine a world where every individual, through meditation, became aligned with higher frequencies of consciousness, where people could access their inner wisdom and act with clarity, compassion, and purpose. Such a world would be one of unity and harmony, where power structures based on division and control would no longer hold sway. For the rulers of the ancient world, This was not just a theoretical threat, it was a very real possibility. The suppression of meditation, then, was not just about controlling individuals, but about maintaining a collective ignorance of our true nature. If people could meditate, transcend the ego and access the divine wisdom within, they would no longer be susceptible to manipulation. They would no longer be willing participants in a system that feeds off their fear and separation. The practice of meditation, in this sense, was the ultimate act of resistance, a way for individuals to free themselves from the chains of external control and rediscover their inherent power. It was a threat so great that it had to be silenced, hidden, and distorted throughout history. Yet, despite centuries of suppression, the practice of meditation has endured. It has survived as a secret, a sacred knowledge passed down through initiates and mystics, waiting for the moment when humanity would once again awaken to its transformative power. Today, as the world enters a new era of spiritual awakening, we find ourselves at the threshold of rediscovering this ancient truth. Meditation is not just a practice, it is the key to unlocking the deepest mysteries of the universe. It is the tool that connects us to the universal mind, and through it, we can transcend the limitations imposed upon us by the material world. We can reshape our reality, and in doing so, we can create a world where peace, harmony, and wisdom prevail. But to truly understand the power of meditation, we must first confront the fear and resistance that have been built around it. The question remains, are we ready to reclaim this lost knowledge and awaken to our true potential? Having explored the profound depths of meditation's taboo status and its historical suppression, we now turn to a crucial question. How can we apply this ancient wisdom in our lives today? How can we, in this modern world, unlock the power of meditation that was once feared and forbidden? The answer lies in understanding not just the mechanics of meditation, but the deeper purpose behind it. Meditation is not merely a practice to quiet the mind or relieve stress. It is, in its truest sense, the art of self-mastery and alignment with the cosmic forces that govern existence. To begin, we must first shed the misconceptions that meditation is simply about emptying the mind. In reality, meditation is about focusing and channeling energy, not escaping from life but diving deeper into its essence. It is about training the mind to become a precise instrument for conscious creation, harnessing the very vibrations of the universe to reshape our reality. The power of focused intention. The first practical application of meditation lies in understanding its potential to harness focused intention. This is a concept that has been key to ancient practices like yoga and alchemy. The more we meditate, the clearer our intentions become. We begin to realize that our thoughts are not mere fleeting impressions, they are energetic forces that shape our reality. To apply this, begin with simple but powerful practices. Focus on a specific intention during your meditation session. Whether it is for healing, clarity, creativity, or personal transformation, hold your intention in the forefront of your mind as you enter a meditative state. As you breathe deeply and enter a state of calm, allow this intention to penetrate your consciousness. Visualize it unfolding before you, feeling the emotions associated with its completion. Through this practice, you begin to resonate with the very frequency of your intention, drawing it closer into your reality. The ancient Hermetic teachings remind us that the mind is the starting point of all creation. When we meditate with a clear intention, we align our energy with the desired outcome, bringing it from the invisible realm of thought into the tangible realm of experience. The art of resonance. To deepen your connection with meditation, you must understand the principle of resonance. Everything in the universe vibrates at a particular frequency, and this includes your thoughts, emotions, and energy. By meditating regularly, you tune your own vibrational frequency to align with the higher frequencies of the universe, those of love, peace, wisdom, and abundance. Start by setting aside time each day to meditate in silence. As you settle into your practice, focus on your breath, drawing your attention to the rise and fall of each inhalation and exhalation. This rhythmic breathing begins to synchronize your energy with the pulse of the universe. Over time, this resonance enhances your intuition, creativity, and connection with the divine. You can also use sound as a tool for resonance. The use of specific mantras, chimes, or binaural beats, frequencies that align with certain brain states, can amplify the effects of your meditation. By resonating with these frequencies, you open the channels of your mind and body to higher wisdom and insight. Aligning with the universal mind, one of the most profound aspects of meditation is its ability to connect us with the universal mind, the all-encompassing consciousness that permeates everything. As we practice, we begin to dissolve the illusion of separation between ourselves and the universe. This is the very essence of spiritual awakening, recognizing that we are not isolated beings, but an integral part of the universal flow of energy. To align yourself with the universal mind, begin by practicing mindfulness in every moment of your life. Don't reserve your meditation practice for moments of quiet alone time. Instead, take a few minutes throughout your day to reconnect with the stillness inside. Whether you are walking, eating, or interacting with others, bring your awareness to the present moment. Feel the vibrations around you, and let go of the distractions that cloud your perception. As you deepen this connection, you will begin to experience synchronicities, those seemingly coincidental moments when everything aligns perfectly. This is the universal mind communicating with you, guiding you toward your highest potential. Embracing the silence of the subconscious, one of the most powerful aspects of meditation is its ability to bring us face to face with the subconscious mind. Within the depths of our subconscious lies a vast reservoir of knowledge, memories, and emotions that shape our lives. Much of this content remains hidden, influencing our decisions, relationships, and health without our conscious awareness. To unlock this hidden wisdom, dedicate part of your meditation to introspection. As you enter a meditative state, allow your mind to become a still pool of water. Watch as thoughts and images rise from the depths of your subconscious, not as distractions, but as messages waiting to be received. These insights can illuminate the root causes of your fears, doubts, and unhealed wounds. By confronting these issues, you dissolve the blocks that hinder your personal growth and open the door to deeper understanding. You can also use affirmations or visualizations in meditation to rewrite limiting beliefs. For example, if you struggle with self-worth, use affirmations such as, "I am worthy of love and success," as you meditate, allowing these positive beliefs to replace old patterns of insecurity, creating lasting transformation in your life. The true power of meditation lies in its ability to create lasting transformation. This transformation occurs not through grand gestures, but through consistent mindful practice. By meditating regularly, you strengthen your ability to shape your reality, to direct your energy, and to manifest your desires. Start small. Dedicate just 5 minutes a day to meditation. As you become more comfortable, extend your practice to 10, 15, or even 30 minutes. Remember, the key is consistency. Just as a river carves its path through rock over time, your daily meditation practice will slowly reshape the course of your life. But remember, meditation is not a quick fix or a passive practice. It requires commitment, patience, and a willingness to confront the deeper layers of your being. The more you meditate, the more you will uncover about yourself, the universe, and the interconnectedness of all things. With time, you will align yourself with your true purpose, and the divine flow of the universe will guide you toward a life of greater peace, fulfillment, and wisdom. As we conclude, we must remember that meditation is not simply a tool for relaxation or stress relief. It is an ancient, sacred practice that holds the key to unlocking the mysteries of existence. It connects us to the universal mind, elevates our vibration, and transforms our inner and outer worlds. For centuries, this practice has been hidden, suppressed and misunderstood. But now, in this age of awakening, it is up to us to reclaim its power. Through meditation, we transcend the boundaries of the ego, dissolve the illusions of separation, and reconnect with the divine flow of energy that permeates all things. As we align ourselves with this flow, we awaken to our true potential as co-creators of reality. The question now remains, will you embrace the ancient wisdom of meditation and step into the transformative power that lies within you? Meditation was once a forbidden art, feared by those in power because it held the key to personal sovereignty and direct connection with the universal consciousness. But the veil has lifted. In the modern world, meditation offers not just a path to inner peace, but a profound means to unlock our hidden potential, heal our deepest wounds, and align with the divine flow of the universe. As we step into this ancient practice with open hearts and minds, we not only discover the immense power within us, but we also begin to see the world differently. The boundaries between the self and the universe, between mind and matter, begin to dissolve. As above, so below, as within, so without. These words echo through the fabric of our existence, reminding us that the universe is not something out there to be understood, but something within us, waiting to be discovered. It is time to reclaim the wisdom that was once hidden, to awaken to the ancient knowledge of the mind's power, and to remember that we are not passive observers of reality, but active participants in the creation of our own lives. Meditation, once taboo, is now a beacon of transformation, a powerful tool that allows us to reshape our destinies and manifest the life we truly desire. The next time you sit in silence, remember, you are not simply meditating. You are unlocking the doors to a forgotten wisdom, one that has been passed down through the ages by those who understood the true nature of reality. And as you do, you may ask yourself, what will you create with the power of your own mind? Thank you for watching. May your journey of self-discovery lead you to the highest truths, and may your meditation practice awaken the infinite potential within you. This concludes our exploration of why meditation was once considered taboo, but ultimately, its forbidden nature only highlights the profound power it holds. Through understanding and embracing this ancient art, we can elevate our lives in ways that transcend the physical and connect us with the very fabric of the cosmos. If this exploration into the hidden history of meditation intrigued you, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe that the ancient taboo surrounding meditation still affects our culture today? Let's dive deeper into this conversation. And if you're ready to continue exploring more mysteries of the universe, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, may you meditate in peace and transform your reality.